Hey, this is Jeeps Rock. We're going to go ahead and show you today how to remove the rear shocks. It's very simple to do. You don't even have to lift up your Jeep. As you can see, I'm sitting on the Jeep. I don't have a lift or anything like that. I'm just in my garage. It's going to be a really simple install. And what we do is we have just a few tools like an impact wrench, a couple of sockets, a couple more wrenches, and then I always recommend, if you got an older vehicle such as this, to go ahead and just put a little bit of lube on there, break open that all that rust off. It makes it a lot easier for you. And then what I've done is I've also got like an extension here, and then it's just got the swivel. Makes it a little bit easier because there are some brake lines down below, and you want to be kind of careful on that because you don't want to get too tight or break a brake line or anything with being too rough underneath the vehicle. But if you got the right tools, it's pretty easy to do. And just letting you know, these are the Skyjacker M95s, and they have the bushings here. We'll show a little bit here real quickly on how we did that. It'll just be like a little cut scene here up above me. But what we did is we just put them in a vise, and that's what I'll recommend. That's probably the safest way and the easiest way. But if you do that, the rest of the install is going to be very simple. So do this first, get those bushings put in. They are not put in by Skyjacker. You'll have to do it on your own. But again, if you have a vise, we'll show you again up above me as I'm talking. You'll see though what's going on. But we just, real simple, put in the two bushings. And again, when we get this installed, this is going to go down like this. So this will be the bottom, this will be the top. You'll see that there's one way that the bolt can go through, and then this one is for the adjustability. So put this one in, and then this one can be adjusted once you're up there. And then once we're completely locked in, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to cut this metal piece right here, and it's just going to very quickly go straight down, and we're going to try to get it right in the channel. And then because there's going to be some pressure underneath there, we do have just a little pry bar, nothing fancy, just enough to get underneath there, get a little bit of leverage and pop that up. And that's about it. So again, these are the Skyjacker M95s. There's a lot of technology inside this little monotube. Now that we're underneath the vehicle, these are going to be the stock bolts that you would have in your vehicle, so you're going to reuse those as well. So these are going to be the 18mm. Those ones we know for sure will be on your vehicle. The ones above we wouldn't know, because depending on what shock you're removing, or maybe you had other people install it and didn't use all the right hardware. You will be doing an 18mm, so we're just putting one on either side, and we're removing the bolt here down below. Pretty long bolt, so just take your time. And again, if you need to, you might need to pry that up a little bit with that pry bar we talked about earlier. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just be able to remove this without having to use a pry bar. So again, this is a shock, so there's going to be a little bit of pressure on here. So what you want to do is now you're going to pull this out of this channel, and you'll just see it move, and then we'll move those two bolts from up top. See why we use that pry bar? You can see how it just goes in. You can see how it moves the shock just up enough, and it's going to bring that right out for you. What we do is now we've removed that bolt, we're going to go ahead and go up to the top and remove those two at the top. Alright, what we're doing is we've got it here on the first bolt, and then there's one here onto the left. Again, we're just going to head and use our socket to break it loose. It's going to be right next to the shock. And it'll just come right out. Just like that right there, just removing two bolts like that. And then we'll just slide that out and put the new one in and bolt it back up. So we're gonna, now that we've cut that wire that you saw, how quick it was, it kind of spin right into position in that channel. We're gonna take that Crybar just a little bit. It doesn't take much. So you can line up that bolt and then feed it through.
Yeah, got it.
There we go. And just get that bolt started. Put the nut on the other end. Tighten it up. And you are ready to move on to the other one and do the exact same thing. So as you can see, we've completed the install. We've got the M95 behind us. Again, it only took 3 bolts, so we just used some hand tools and we're done. So hopefully if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have questions on what we did, or if we didn't cover something well enough for you, just let us know. We'll answer that for you in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and we can't wait to see you. And again, we will see you out on the trail.